held in person in the Council Chamber here at the Civic Centre, 25 Ferrers Boulevard, South Morang. The meeting is also being live streamed. My name is Craig Lloyd. I'm the Chief Executive Officer here at the City of Whittlesea, and I'd like to introduce our councillors and members of the Executive Leadership Team in attendance tonight. We have Councillor Blair Colwell, Councillor Laurie Cox, Councillor Deb Gunn, Councillor Michael Labrador, Councillor Jared Lappin, Councillor David Lenberg, Councillor Aidan McClendon, Councillor Christine Stowe, Councillor Martin Taylor, Councillor Danielle Azzini, and joining us online, Councillor Nick Brooks. I'd also like to introduce our executive present tonight. We have our Director of Planning and Development, Emma Appleton, our Director of Corporate and Customer Services, Sarah Renner, our Director of Infrastructure and Environment, Debbie Wood, Acting Director of Community Wellbeing, Amelia Ryan, the Executive Manager of Public Affairs, Janine Morgan, and beside me at the table here, Executive Manager of Office of Council and CEO, Jacinta Stevens. On behalf of Council, I recognise the rich Aboriginal heritage of this country and acknowledge the Wurundjeri Willem clan and the Tongarong people as the traditional owners of the lands within the City of Whittlesea. I'd also like to personally acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. Thank you. In accordance with Section 25(3) of the Local Government Act 2020 and Council's governance rules, I'm required to take the role of Chair of this meeting until the election of the Mayor has been conducted. I'll now read our Diversity and Good Governance Statement. At the City of Whittlesea, we are proud of our diversity and the many cultures, faiths and beliefs that make up our community. We strive to be an inclusive, welcoming city that fosters active participation, well-being and connection to each other and this land. We commit as a council to making informed decisions to benefit the people of the City of Whittlesea now and into the future, to support our community's vision of a place for all. I note that there are no apologies for this evening's meetings. Are there any declarations of conflicts of interest? I note there are no conflicts of interest. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge the leadership over the last 7 months of Councillor Taylor and have him presented with a small gift. Congratulations. I'd also like to acknowledge the service over the last year of our Deputy Mayor, Councillor Danielle Azzini. Councillor Taylor, if you'd like to say a few words.
My absolute privilege to have been Mayor of the City of Whittlesea and to act as the representative of our council in all that we've achieved. We have undertaken some incredible achievements over the last 7 months. We have pulled together and effectively undertaken some very significant governance as a council. We have, and I'll read it in more detail when we do our council reports, exactly of what I've achieved during that 7 months. But all I can say is it's been my absolute pleasure to have been, and an honour to have been, the Mayor of the City of Whittlesea for the last 7 months.
Thank you, Councillor Taylor. Councillor Azzini, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I do echo what Councillor Taylor has said about the privilege of being in a leadership position here at City of Whittlesea, and I really value all the connections I've made and all the people that I've met from all different walks of life. So I really value being part of that collaboration that we've had as a council, and we've got through a really tough year, and I think we've got lots of great years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. We now move on to the business of the meeting. Item 3.1, Term of Office of the Mayor 2025-2026. Councillors, do I have a motion for the mayoral term? Councillor Stowe.
I move the motion as the officer's recommendation.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Lappin. Councillor Stowe, do you wish to speak to the motion?
No, that's fine. Motion is put.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Lappin, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Chair. That's fine.
Thank you. I'll now put that motion to a vote. All those in favour? It's carried unanimously. Item 3.2, the Mayor Election 2025-2026. Do I have a motion for this agenda item? Councillor Stowe.
So am I moving the motion as it is, or moving a nomination?
I'm waiting. I need a motion from you.
A motion, so I move the motion to put the vote for the mayor.
So it's as per the wording on the screen.
Yes, as per the wording of the screen.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Gunn. Thank you. Councillor Stowe, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Gunn, would you like to speak to the motion? Okay, I now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour? The motion is carried unanimously. Before I call for nominations for the position of Mayor, I would like to outline the process for the nomination and election of the Mayor. The election of the Mayor will be conducted in accordance with the Local Government Act 2020 and the Council Governance Rules. Firstly, I will call for nominations. Any councillor that is in attendance tonight is able to nominate any councillor for the office of Mayor. All councillors can nominate themselves. The nomination must be seconded and the candidate must consent to their nomination. There is no opportunity to speak for or against nominations. To be elected as Mayor, a candidate must receive the vote of an absolute majority of councillors, that is at least 6 votes. Once all nominations are received, and I move on to the election, no further nominations can be made. If there is only one nomination, I will declare that councillor duly elected as Mayor. If there is more than one nomination received, a vote will be taken to elect one of the candidates. If this is required, voting will be undertaken by a show of hands for each nominee after I read out the name in order of the nomination. Councillors in attendance at the meeting must vote for one of the candidates. If one candidate receives an absolute majority of the votes, that is 6 or more votes, I will declare that councillor elected. If no candidate receives an absolute majority of votes, the candidate with the least number of votes will be defeated. I will then ask councillors to vote again for the remaining candidates, and again, if no candidate receives an absolute majority of votes, the candidate with the least number of votes will be defeated. And this will be repeated again if necessary until one councillor has an absolute majority of votes. In the event that an absolute majority cannot be achieved after 3 rounds of votes, the meeting will be adjourned to a later specified time and date. If after conducting 3 new election process meetings, an absolute majority cannot be achieved, the election of Mayor will be determined by lot. If this is required, I'll explain that process at that point. Councillors, are there any nominations for the office of Mayor for 2025? Councillor Lappin?
Yes, please, Chair. I'd like to nominate Councillor Laurie Cox.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that nomination? Councillor Gunn. Councillor Cox, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? Councillor Stowe.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Lenberg.
Councillor Lenberg. Do I have a seconder for Councillor Lenberg? Councillor Labrador. And Councillor Lenberg, do you accept the nomination?
I do. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? No. Okay. Councillors, I've received 2 nominations for the office of Mayor, being Councillor Cox and Councillor Lenberg. I'll now call for votes in the order of nominations. Those voting for Councillor Cox, please raise your hand. Councillor Taylor, Councillor Cox, Councillor Lappin, Councillor Colwell, Councillor McClendon, Councillor Gunn, and Councillor Zini. Continue. That's a majority vote, so I therefore declare Councillor Cox elected as Mayor. Congratulations.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll move to item 3.3, the establishment of the role of the Deputy Mayor. Is there a mover of the motion to establish the role of the Deputy Mayor to coincide with the mayoral term? Councillor Stowe, seconded by Councillor... Sorry. Seconded by Councillor Zinni. So, in
I
accordance...
move the motion as put by the officers.
Seconded by Councillor Zinni. Do you wish to speak to the...
No, thank you.
Councillor Zinni, thank you. Is there any other councillors who wish to speak to the motion? Being none, I'll now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. The vote is unanimous. So it's carried. Yep. So, item 3.4 is the election of the Deputy Mayor for the year 2025 to 26. And there is, in accordance with the Council's governance rules, I'll now conduct the election for the Deputy Mayor. And is there a mover of the motion to conduct the election of the position of Deputy Mayor? Councillor Gunn moved, seconded Councillor Taylor.
Sorry, Chair, point of clarification.
Yep.
Does it need the same wording as the previous motion with the Mayor for every subsequent year thereafter, or not? Just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, just to confirm, there is a requirement under the Local Government Act to establish the role of the Deputy Mayor. It's not required, so you can vote to not have a Deputy Mayor.
Is there any other questions?
And I move the motion as per the wording on the screen.
Thank you, Councillor Gunn. And second was Councillor Taylor. As the mover of the motion, do you wish to speak? Seconder wish to speak? No, thank you, Chair. Okay. Any other there's no other councillors wish to speak? Questions? No. I'll now put that motion to a vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. And it's carried unanimously. You've just got to follow the running sheet here. Okay. So the process of election of the Deputy Mayor is the same as for the election of Mayor, and will be conducted in accordance with the Local Government Act 2020 and the Council's governance rules. So I'll call, is there any nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor? Councillor Taylor? Sorry, my apologies. Sorry, use the microphone.
Yes, sorry about that. I nominate Councillor Blair Caldwell, the representative for the Mill Park Ward.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Lappin? Councillor Colwell, do you accept the nomination?
I accept the nomination.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Councillor McLinden?
Chair, I'd like to nominate Councillor Labrador for the position of Deputy.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Lenberg? Councillor Labrador, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Being none. So we have two nominations. We've run out of pages. There we go. Yep. So I will conduct the ballot in the order of the nominations being received. So Councillor Colwell was the first nomination, and I'll call for votes in order of the nomination and remind you, you must vote for one of the council's candidates. So for Councillor Colwell, all those in favour, please raise your hand. So we have Councillor Taylor, Councillor Lappin, Councillor Colwell, Councillor Gunn, Councillor Zinni and myself, Councillor Cox. So there is 6 votes, which is an absolute majority. Therefore, I declare Councillor Colwell elected. So we're up to, got through the pages. Now, I'm being gently reminded I can say a few words. and Councillor Colwell also as the deputy.
Is there a time limit, Chair, on your... No.
Always a good start. Again, thank you, councillors. I wish to acknowledge the traditional owners, and I look forward to working with them in the future, and particularly in relation to the gathering place as we go forward. I'd also remind people that I always make the undertaking that we gently walk on the land and we respectfully engage with the Indigenous owners of the country. I'll start by saying thank you for the confidence in being elected in the chair. The people who have provided that confidence, of course, are the electors of the Gambu-Galinge ward, of which I'm the representative. I am a proud person that has been a councillor over a number of years from time to time. I started back in 1977 when I first moved into the area in Lalor, and in 1979, a fabulous 46 years ago as I'm reminded, as a 22-year-old joined the council in the old Bluestone Council Chamber, which is now the police station. In 1982 I became a Shire President, and in 2016 to 20 I was the South West Ward Councillor and I was the Mayor in 2018. I also begin by saying last year has been a difficult year for all of us, but I particularly note Councillor Taylor's leadership as Mayor and Councillor Zinni's role as the Deputy Mayor, and you've been acknowledged, and I was intending to do that, so they got him ahead of me, so, but I do thank you for that service. I'm one of 11 councillors. I'm not here to be the only councillor or the only person that delivers as part of the City of Whittlesea. I'm the first amongst equals, and a mayor only guides and makes sure that we are respectful of each other, but also the community. This group has come a long way in that 12-month period, and I look forward to continuing that journey with all of you for the betterment of the City of Whittlesea. The staff and the CEO provide sound and practical advice, but it is the group of councillors who determine the course of events and the decisions of this council. The CEO is our person who implements them and employs the staff. Our community is a diverse community. Predominantly, the majority of us are all either direct immigrants or from immigrant families. In my case, the history of my family is that in 1831, one side of the family arrived in Hobart under transportation, so they were moved out of London and dumped into Hobart. The second part of my family was in 1842, who arrived in Williamstown, so I'm a 6th generation. He came in as a merchant sea captain, and the house is still recognised down in Williamstown. Many of us have joined this great Australian community, but we are all equal in standing. And I think that's important to understand in terms of being respectful to our community and to the people that elect us. There are also many faiths, There is the Christian faith, there is the Islamic faith, the Hindi faith, Buddhism, Jewish, and others I'm pretty sure I've forgotten. I know there are people that put Star Trek on their census form, but I haven't mentioned Star Trek. But no matter where you come from or the faith you have, you are all to be treated with respect, and I hope follow your own teachings to live in peace with each other. Councillors are the creatures of the state in our federation and under the Constitution. We are not recognised as a separate level in the Constitution, so many people don't understand that we are directly governed by state acts and we have to comply to those requirements. Too many attack, unfortunately, local government at the moment because they fail to understand that. And it's easy to yell at a computer screen or punch the keyboard. I don't accept that, and I don't accept abuse or false claims without evidence. This applies to all councillors and all employees of the City of Whittlesea. There are plenty of past councillors that should be acknowledged, and I've served with many who have passed on, and they're recognised, and I think it shows that, unfortunately, in my age, I came in here at 22, but at my age now, I look back and when we talk about some reserves, there are names on there of people that I actually served on council with us who are no longer with us. So it does draw your attention to your age. We have past CEOs as well that I'd like to mention. In terms of past councillors, I do particularly want to mention one person because as a result of the council being dismissed in 2020, Councillor Tom Joseph was my deputy when I was mayor in 2018, and he was not elected to the mayor, and unfortunately he was, in my view, treated poorly, and that's my view. But I do want to acknowledge that his service was valuable, and particularly to the Indian community, and he would have been our first Indian mayor. And I think that that's something that should have been acknowledged at the time. Past CEOs, I actually also have the history that I served under served with Shire secretaries, not CEOs. So I go back to the time there. We had Lindsay Esmond, who became our Shire secretary in 1979, with Eddie Flynn, his deputy, and they were foundation roles in the Local Government Act in those days. Along with Peter Hopper and Jim Harrison, who was the Shire engineer and the deputy Shire engineer respectively, and of course Peter Hopper Lake in Mill Park is named after Peter, and he's still with us, so I look forward to that. I also acknowledge other CEOs that I've worked with, and in Michael Wooden, who was with us a very short time in 2016, and also Simon Overland, who was a history that is part of the Smiths Council, and it's unfortunate. He did an excellent job as far as I was concerned, but that wasn't a jointly held view by others, and I felt he was treated unfairly. That is not to say our current CEO does not do his job and our current staff do not do their jobs. But I do want to acknowledge that we need to be working respectfully with our staff. They provide advice. It's not their decision. The advice is given to us as councillors to make decisions. So please tread warily, and that's something that I will always undertake to make sure that we respect our staff and we deal respectfully with our staff, as I ask with each other as councillors. You should also note, I'm in a unique role. I'm only one of two living councillors that used to be a Shire president as well as the mayor of the City of Whittlesea. Frank Molino, a former councillor, and myself, the only two on the honour boards that actually hold that acknowledgement these days. We are unique in that capacity, but I also note we don't have any robes and chains, and a lot of people ask the question why we don't. Over the years, we've been a council that is respectful of our community. It's not about us dressing up in robes. It's not about us having a chain of office. It is us working for the community. That's why we're here, and we are part of the community. I'd also close that I'm absolutely proud to be living in the municipality now for coming up to 50 years, and I look forward to continuing my time living in the municipality until they carry me out. So thanks to my wife, who's here tonight, holding her head down, but who keeps me grounded, and I know I'm getting the wind up, and attacks me occasionally and tells me why I don't think, but also to my children and my grandchildren who have grown up in the area. Some don't live here now, but I'm proud to have worked with all of those people that I've mentioned already, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we continue to grow our great city. So thank you very much. Councillor Caldwell, I'll call on you to say some new words.
Thank you, Mayor. I too would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land in which we meet. I'd like to start by thanking the outgoing Mayor and Deputy Mayor, Councillor Zini and Councillor Taylor, for their determined commitment to the role and the groundwork they have laid for the continued success of the council. They should be very proud of what they've achieved and the challenges they've navigated during their tenure. I think you've done both wonderful jobs in that role. I would also like to thank my councillor colleagues for their support. It's both an honour and a responsibility taking on the role of Deputy Mayor. With expectations I humbly endeavour to live up to and hope to exceed. I think it's fair to say that council have invested considerable contemplation over the decision of the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor, and I think this is indicative of a healthy and robust decision-making process as councillors consider without grace or favour what is in the best interest of the community. It is a strength of our councillor group that we're blessed with so many capable, dedicated and diligent leaders who are inspired to serve the community, which means we are well placed for succession and continuity of leadership in the roles in the future. In taking on this role, I assert my commitment to serve in the best interest of the community, abiding by the Councillor Code of Conduct, and faithfully and impartially exercise the functions, powers and discretions that I hold as a councillor. Furthermore, I commit to and look forward to working collaboratively with my colleagues across the chamber, building a relationship of mutual respect and trust. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for attending and your interest in tonight's council meeting. You're invited to join us for some light refreshments in the Great Hall. Myself and the Deputy Mayor are required to stay behind in the chamber so we can have some official photographs before we join you. And following a short break, we have a scheduled council meeting to commence at 7:30 p.m. So I declare the meeting closed at 6:28. Thank you.